Adventures of Darla and Mickey, Raven Midnight. Written by Kay El Magnus. Illustrated by Maurice Carloway. To my Raven Alexandria, thank you for inspiring me to create a heroine of justice that I envision you'll become. Chapter 1. Lucky Break. Rise and shine, lovely birdies, it's me. It's another beautiful day out today, and I know you'll enjoy every little bit of it, Twila excitedly tells as she uncovers the birdcage. Oh no, please, can I just have one morning when I sleep in without hearing all that noise? Mickey complains. Wow, even after all Twila's done for us, you still can sit there and be Mr. Grumpy towards her. Not cool, bro, says Darla, while singing her beautiful morning song. I do appreciate her and her parents and the wonderful bird fountain that they've made for us. And now, if you two would pipe down and let me rest until noon, I'd gladly sing my little heart out then. Upset by Mickey's behaviour, Darla fills her bill with water from their drinking tube and sprays him with every last drop. Hey! What in the world was that for? Talk about not cool, Darla. You get up and start singing to her this instant, Mickey. All right. No need to get your feathers in a bunch. Sheesh. After watching the siblings, Twila burst out in uncontrollable laughter. You two birdies at it again. I swear I'll never get tired of seeing you guys act silly every morning. It's so funny. Twila, where are you, honey? Her mother's voice travels from upstairs. I'm with the birdies, Mummy. Her parents meet her at the birdcage, and she gives them both a very big hug. Thank you, little one. Have you finished eating your breakfast yet? Her mother asks. Yes, Mummy, and I even cleared the plate and put it in the dishwasher. Very good, dear. Now, go up to your room and grab your shoes. We're going to run some errands today, her father tells. Yay! Errands! Can we go to the ice cream shop and to the park so I can play on the swings, please? Please! I don't know. Did you eat all 3 of your blueberry pancakes? Her mother questions. Of course I did, Mummy, just like you told me to, and they were delicious. Then the answer is absolutely yes, says her father. Yay! Today's such a good day. I just know I'm gonna have so much fun. I hope Jessie and Kevin are at the park. When we get there, that'll make it 3 times as fun. Her parents joyfully smile. Oh, wait! We almost forgot to let the birdies play in the bird fountain before we leave. We don't have the time for them to do that today, dear. We have lots of things to take care of while we're out. I'm sure they can live without playing in the fountain for another day, says her mother. Darla suddenly stops singing and opens her beak in shock. Do you think they get sad when they can't be out of the cage, Daddy? Of course not, honey. Those beautiful parakeets are always happy no matter what. Besides, the weather is going to be perfect again today, so we'll hang the birdcage above the window so they can catch some sunlight. Whatever you say, Daddy. Well, birdies, me and my parents are gonna run errands and we'll be back later. Have fun and enjoy the day. Her parents and she placed the cage on the hook and then exit the front door. Darla folds her wings and taps her foot on the branch she's perched upon. Can you believe this, Mickey? They left us to rot in this boring old cage again. Mickey just shrugs his shoulders before gliding over to the birdseed to eat. That's like the third time this week they've totally blew us off. I mean, how much effort does it take to give us at least an hour a day to soar in the open like they used to do all the time? Stop being so overdramatic. Every time this happens, you start putting on a show like a peacock during mating season, and it's not as if you don't get out at all. Keep in mind, Darla, that most pet birds don't ever get to leave their cages, so we have it a lot better than you make things out to be. I know, but I'm a bird. I need to spread my wings and ride the wind whenever I feel like doing it. And after having that type of freedom, I don't see how you can't agree with me. Mickey flutters to his nest bed and fluffs up his straw pillow. After the mess you put me through the last time around, it's a miracle that I even leave the safety of the cage at all. Anyway, now that Twyla and her parents are gone for the day, I can catch up on my beauty rest before the sun reaches the afternoon sky. Oh, you're still such a hopeless, scary canary. Whatever you say, sis. I just so happen to choose safety over freedom, that's all. She flies to the door of the birdcage and puts her wings around the bars. Gosh! I don't know how much more of this prison-like freedom I can take. You can be happy cooped up in here, but I have to have some sort of excitement in my life. Well, you can always try to run away next time we get to play at the bird fountain and be as free as you want to be. But then, what would you eat during the day? Where would you go to sleep? And the dangers? Well, let's just say there are way too many out there to count. More than likely by nightfall you'll be eaten by a hungry owl, and after that you wouldn't have to worry about anything anymore. Very funny, Mickey. You and your little ideas. I don't want to run away. Twyla and her parents love us very much. I just wish I could fly free at my whim and not on some silly time schedule. The day is gonna be so beautiful. It'll take a miracle for us to get out of this birdcage today. Hey, you guys! How are things going? An eager chipmunk asks after climbing on the window ledge. I'm so excited we finally have the chance to meet you two in person, a female sparrow expresses. Meet us? But why? Darla wonders. Didn't you know? A squirrel jumping onto the window sill asks. You guys are the heroes of the entire neighborhood. His twin brother hops by his side and completes his sentence. Yeah, the way you two clobbered those nasty crows was amazing, the chipmunk tells. Everyone had been chirping about it for weeks, said the sparrow. Yes, and we would have told you sooner, tells one squirrel. But didn't think it was very safe with that weird-looking gardener patrolling the front and backyard every day, finishes the other. You hear that, Mickey? We are the heroes of the entire neighborhood. Already half asleep, Mickey just waves his wing at her. As a token of our appreciation and on behalf of the wonderful neighborhood of Olive Tree, we present to you this silver skeleton key, says the chipmunk as one of the squirrels pulls it from out of his bushy tail. Darla's eyes grew large with excitement. We heard about the bogus key that mean old Archie gave you guys, so we searched the city dump for a sturdy replacement, the sparrow informs. She then takes the key with her bill and flies up to the door of the birdcage. Yeah, the shiny key is made of metal, one squirrel says, so it will never ever break, and the other. Thank you all so much. You have no idea how much this means to us. Anytime anyone ever needs to take care of a birdie in the neighborhood, don't hesitate to call. Raven Midnight! Another sparrow shrieks as he zips past the window. Rave Mid who? Darla questions. Oh my gosh! The chipmunk blurts as he dashes outside. She's here! A squirrel yells. She's here! His brother repeats as they jump out of the window and race through the front yard. Who's here? Mickey inquires. Who's here? Hollers Darla. Ah! Screams the gleeful sparrow, tossing the silver key into the air as she did so. Darla panics and frantically catches it before it fell out of reach. She came! She really came! Everyone told me she would, but I would have never believed it, the female sparrow announces while gliding back outside. What in the turtles of heavens is going on here? And who is this person that everyone is so excited to meet? Come on, Mickey. We have to investigate. Ha! I beg to differ, Darla. With all of the noise away from here, I can finally finish out my nap in peace. You aren't at all curious about who this mystery person is? Not even in the slightest. She's probably some dangerous individual that's up to no good, and I don't want any part of it. And this time, you won't be able to convince me otherwise. Are you sure you don't want to join me? She asks as she uses the key to lift the latch on the birdcage door. Absolutely. Even if it means spreading your wings in the open sky for the rest of the day? Says Darla with a mischievous grin across her beak while placing the key underneath her nest bed. I've never been surer about anything in my life. Besides, you have that twinkle in your eyes, and that usually spells trouble for me. I told myself a long time ago that I'll never join you on one of your wacky adventures ever again. Safety over freedom is the way to live, sis. Safety over freedom. She grabs him by his tail feathers and using one wing she quickly flaps out of the birdcage. Ouch! Ouch! What are you doing, Darla? I believe I just said I'm not going anywhere, with you now on hand me this instant. Pfft! You're so full of hot air. You know deep down in your little chicken heart that you want to be out here enjoying the great outdoors. You're also just as curious as I am about the mystery person visiting our neighborhood. So to help you to decide what to do, I've made the choice for you. But I told you, don't worry about it. You can thank me for dragging you along later. We're just gonna see what all the fuss is about, and then you can run back to your stuffy old roaster pan if you want to. Now, where did everyone go? Suddenly, screams and laughter explode from around a great big oak tree near the town's library. I guess we found them. Let's go check things out. Chapter 2 RM. Darla and Mickey land at the trunk of the tree and walks around to the huge crowd of neighborhood animals gathered on the other side. Excuse us, coming through, Darla tells as she makes her way to the center of the commotion. Step aside, please, thank you. Hey, watch it, hollers Mickey, following right behind her. Oh my! Darla stops in her tracks after seeing the source of everyone's excitement. What is all the hubbub about, Darla? I know this ridiculous outing had better be worth my time. Mickey stumbles on his words as he lays his eyes on her. All of the animals gathered around a tall and incredibly gorgeous, melodious blackbird, whom they referred to as Raven Midnight. Her well-groomed black plumage had a shiny blue tint to it, and not a single feather was sticking out of place. She wore round, glittery aviator goggles on the top of her head, and a white bandana tied around her neck with her initials sewn into it in a very colourful manner. She also wore beautiful golden bracelet around her right leg that had an unusual language etched to it. Raven Midnight, Raven Midnight, could you please sign my old eggshell? Asks the eager girl sparrow. Oh, thank you again, Miss Midnight, for rescuing me from those hungry hawks a month ago. I didn't think I had a hope in the world until you showed up, reminds the chipmunk. Yeah, and we can't thank you enough for dropping off those acorns to us last winter, says one squirrel. Because I really thought we were goners when my brother forgot where he buried our emergency batch, completes the other. You are all very welcome, my friends. I am just pleased to assist in any way I can, tells Raven Midnight. She's kind of annoying, I know, and her weird accent, Darla complains as she cuts Mickey off. No, not annoying. She's absolutely wonderful, Mickey says with her heart in his eyes. Have you gone cuckoo, bro? Hey, wait a sec. You're blushing, and your heart is beating faster than a pair of hummingbird wings. You're in love with her, aren't you? Mickey quickly snaps out of his daze. Who, me? In love? Don't be silly, Darla. These are the two parakeets who saved Olive Tree from those rotten crows, Miss Midnight, the chipmunk informs. She's actually coming over here, Mickey nervously says. Oh, you must be Senorita Darla and Senor Mickey. I've heard wonderful things about you two. Protecting these who cannot protect themselves is always the right thing to do, no matter what obstacles stand in the way. Ever since I travelled here from my homeland, the beautiful land of Costa Rica, I've been on many wonderful and sometimes very dangerous adventures. Some of those times involved my sinister and cunning archenemy, but those are stories for another day. I'm sure they are wonderful stories, Miss Midnight, and would love to hear them some day soon, tells the excited sparrow. Yes, blurts a happy squirrel. Very soon indeed, adds his joyful brother. Of course, my friends, but today I'm here to congratulate your heroes on a job well done. Keep up the good work, little spirited senorita. Raven praises Darla while patting the top of her head. Thanks, I guess, says Darla with a frown upon her beak. Stay strong and sweet, Senor Mickey, Raven tells him and gives him a peck on the cheek. She kissed me, Mickey says before fainting with a huge smile on his beak. Excuse me, Miss Midnight. There is a group of fans over there waiting for you to sign autographs, the chipmunk informs. Of course, but you can call me RM for short. Sure thing, RM. It was very nice to meet the two of you, and perhaps in the future we can share an adventure together. Pfft, likewise, Darla responds with an attitude. Mickey finally awakens from his short slumber. Look at everyone flocking around her like she's some sort of a golden goose. She's just as beautiful as a swan dancing in the water, Mickey says. Oh, please, more like an ugly duckling. Do I detect a hint of jealousy coming from you, Darla? It's too late to deny it. It's practically oozing out of your feathers. No way! It's just that she doesn't look like much of a hero to me. Raven Midnight, not much of a hero? That's very funny. Miss Midnight has saved plenty of animals hidden all over the surrounding neighborhoods, including my own. I mean, you guys are heroes too, but RM is like a superhero, explains the Sparrow Girl. Yeah, even in the land of Costa Rica, tells another squirrel. She's a very big deal, finishes the other. Okay, I get it already. She's a big hero. I just wish there was a way we could prove that we're just as great as she is. Help! Someone please help me! Shouts a panicky bulldog. Bingo! Darla utters. Oh, thank goodness. I'm so happy you're here, says the bulldog. What seems to be the problem, my friend? RM asks. Me and my poodle pal were playing near the forest, and she accidentally fell into an open drain pipe, and she seems to be hurt really bad. Would you please go and help her, Miss Midnight? Excuse me, Raven, but Mickey and I will go rescue the trapped pup. This is our neighborhood after all, Darla interrupts. Darla, what are you doing? This is a serious matter and not a good time to be playing games. So I think it's best that we leave this matter in the hands of RM, Mickey tells. Darla holds his beak shut and whispers. Hey, Walnut Head, this is my big chance to prove I'm so good a hero as she is, so zip your bill. Besides, if we do this, I'm sure Raven will be really impressed by your bravery. Impressed by me? He repeats with starry eyes. I understand, Senorita Darla, but I wish to join you too on this mission. It wouldn't hurt to have an extra pair of wings by your side just in case. Sure, I suppose you can tag along if you want to, but I'm sure it won't be necessary. Or we could just head on home while you take care of things. Ouch! Darla stamps Mickey's foot to stop him from talking. Oh, thank all of you for willing to help us out, the bulldog happily says. All right, you two. Meet me by Haggerty's bird fountain in 10 minutes. I have to fly to my secret nest and gather some things before we head out, explains RM. Okay, will do, says Darla. Anything for you, Miss Midnight, Mickey says with heart in his eyes again. Excellent. I'll be back in a flash. The moment RM flew away, Darla balled up her wing and bopped her brother on top of his head. Snap out of it, you dodo, and let's get going before she comes back. Wait a second, Darla. RM said to meet her at the fountain, and that's what we're going to do. Your jealousy towards her is only going to land us in a heap of trouble, he tells while rubbing the sore spot on his head. I am not jealous of her. I just want to prove to everyone that we can take care of the problems in our neighborhood without her help. Sure, whatever you say, sis. If you want to go get yourself all battered and bruised on behalf of some silly rivalry you're cooked up in your mind, is fine by me. But again, I refuse to be a part of it, so I'm heading home now. Okay, bro, if that's what you want to do, I'm sure RM can find another heroic bird somewhere to give a big warm hug and a peck on the cheek to, or rescuing a cute innocent puppy. Pausing in his tracks, he thinks about his sister's words and changes his mind. Fine, Darla, but I'm only going with you because I don't want to see you get hurt, that's all. Whatever you say, bro. Now, let's get a move on and save the poodle. Chapter 3. To the Rescue. The parakeet pair finally arrives at the beginning of the forest and lands on the ground in search of the drain pipe that holds the injured pup. It's gotta be around here somewhere. Are you having any luck over there, Mickey? None whatsoever. With all this forest to cover, I don't know if we'll ever find her out here. Right after saying that, Mickey trips over a shiny object lying in the grass. He picks it up, and to his surprise, it's a pet collar with a silver name tag in the shape of a doggy bone. Darla, I think I found her collar. And a drain pipe is right behind you. Hey, puffball. All of your worries are over. We're here to save you. Mickey yells down the pipe but doesn't hear anything back. Puffball, are you still in there? Yells Darla. There is no sign of her anywhere. How in the world could she have gotten out of there on her own? Mickey wonders. Suddenly they hear loud barks and whimpers coming from across the street. The siblings then spot a dog catcher locking the poor poodle in the back of an animal control van. Oh no! He must have got her out of the pipe thinking she was a stray dog, since he never saw the pet collar around her neck. We have to free her before she's taken to the dog pound, tells Darla. Shouldn't we wait for RM to show up since things have taken a turn for the worse? We may just need her help on this one, Mickey suggests. There is no time to wait for your dream girl. We have to get her out of the van now, Darla shouts as she bolts through the air in the direction of the street. Hey, Darla, wait. Oh boy, here we go again. Darla makes it to the van and peers through one of its back door windows. Puffball, me and my brother Mickey have come to rescue you. How are you feeling? Are you hurt anywhere? Yes, I've injured my left forepaw and I can barely walk on it. And I'm as dirty as a pig playing in the mud. The driver suddenly starts up the van and begins making his way to the pound. Oh gosh, please hurry up and save me, Bluebirdie. I'm much too precious to be locked away in some filthy dog pound. Mickey finally lands next to Sister, and they both use their talons to pull on the door handle with all of their might. Darn, it won't even budge an inch, says Darla. Unable to speak while carrying the dog collar in his beak, Mickey nods his head in agreement. The keys! The dog catcher has the key to his door in his pocket. I saw him put it there after he tossed me in, informs the poodle. Of course! Stay here, Mickey. I'm gonna get those keys. Be careful, Darla, Mickey mumbles. Darla flies around to the passenger side window, which luckily was rolled down, and glides quietly into the seat. After spotting the key sticking out of his front pocket, she sneaks over and slowly tries to pull it out. But right before she has it in her grasp, the driver accidentally rolls over a pothole in the street that causes the van to bounce. Caught off guard, Darla flips high into the air and lands right in the middle of the dog catcher's lap. She utters. Meanwhile, Mickey wonders what is taking his sister so long to return when out of the blue, Raven Midnight soars through the air and makes her stop right next to him. He mumbles. Looks like I showed up right in the nick of time. Wow, you're Raven Midnight. Thank goodness you're here. Please free me from this awful van. It reeks of wet fur and other things I can't begin to mention, says Puffball the poodle. Mickey pulls on the door handle and points to the keyhole above it to show her that it's locked shut. Good work, Senor Mickey. The pooch getting captured by a dog catcher and locked into a moving van was quite unexpected, but luckily I have prepared for such a thing. From out of a pouch fastened underneath her wing, RM pulls out a broken piece of fingernail file and a bobby pin. She sticks both items into the keyhole and wiggles them around until the lock on the door was released. Mickey and she then pull the handle with all of their might, swinging the van door wide open. All right, you did it. I guess we won't need that key the Bluebirdie went to go get from the driver after all, tells Puffball. Bluebirdie? You mean Senorita? Ah! Help me! Darla screams out. Stay with Puffball, Senor Mickey. I'll go and help your sister, orders RM. Mickey enters the back of the van and gives the dog collar the Puffball. Okay, but please hurry and save her. RM swiftly glides around to the driver's side window only to spot Darla fluttering around like a dragonfly to avoid the clutches of the dog catcher. Any suggestions would be nice right about now, Raven, says a panicky Darla. Acting quickly, RM decides to pull the man's hat over his eyes. Unable to see, he drives the truck wildly until finally slamming on the brakes right before crashing into a parked car. Come on, Senorita Darla, let's make haste, tells RM. This must be our stop. Now let's hurry up and get out of here, Mickey says to Puffball. Chapter 4. Teamwork. All four of the animals fled the scene and wisely met each other back at the big oak tree near the library, which surprisingly wasn't very far away. I can't thank you enough for saving me from that nasty dog catcher and his stinky old truck, Miss Midnight, says Puffball. Yes, thank you, thank you, her poodle pal tells. You're very welcome, my friends, but I don't think I could have done it without the aid of the parakeet siblings, RM says while patting Darla on her head. Darla folds her wings and frowns again. Oh, I hate it when you do that. After rescuing Puffball, the poodle, the siblings along with Raven Midnight return to the safety of the bird fountain in their own backyard. Well, that was quite an interesting adventure, my friends. I am so happy that everything turned out okay, says RM. Thank you again for coming to help us, even though we went ahead without you, and for saving my darling sister's tail feathers, says Mickey. Yes, I'm glad you decided to tag along. Thanks a bunch, tells Darla. No problem at all, my friends. I'm very glad I got the chance to assist you two and your rescue mission. I enjoyed it much. The sun is beginning to set, and the night will soon be upon us, so I'd better get going. Farewell, Senorita Darla, and goodbye, brave little Senor Mickey. RM gives Mickey another peck on his cheek. "She kissed me again," he said before fainting with another huge smile upon his beak. Embarrassed by her brother's behavior, Darla puts her wing over her face and shakes her head. As Raven Midnight flies through the back gate and enters the front yard, Thomas the gardener springs out of nowhere and captures her in a net. "Ah, finally gotcha, you pesky little crow!" the goofy-looking man shouts with his chipped-toothed smile and beady little eyes. "Oh no! Thomas has mistaken Raven for Archie or one of his goons. Mickey, wake up! We have to save Raven!" Darla informs, but Mickey is stuck in dreamland from the pack he received. "Darn it! I'm gonna have to do this myself." Springing into action, Darla glides low to the ground and comes across a garden hose still lying in the grass. She grabs it with her talons and carefully wraps it around the man's ankles. RM sees what Darla is up to and nods in agreement. Out of another hidden pouch underneath her wing, she pulls out the sharp end of a putty knife and begins cutting herself free. Darla nods as well and then flies circles around Thomas' face to distract him. "Hey, you little birdie, how did you get out the house?" he wondered while ducking his head. After finally getting free, RM flutters with Darla close to the gardener and both birds stick out their tongues to tease him. "Why, you little—" Before he could finish talking, he strips over the garden hose wrapped around his ankles and lands flat on his face. RM zips to the side of the house and turns on the water connected to the hose, and the powerful stream soaks Thomas from head to toe. "I'm gonna get you crazy birdies one day, I promise," the goofy gardener yells out while rolling around on the water-drenched lawn. After dealing with Thomas, Darla and Raven retreat to the backyard fountain and share a giggle. "We sure show that bully who's boss," Darla happily says. "Yes, we did, Senorita Darla. Yes, we did. I want to thank you, Senorita, for putting yourself in harm's way to save me. You are truly an awesome hero, and I am forever in your debt." As RM extends her wing, Darla covers the top of her head, thinking she is going to pet it again. But instead, she held it out, waiting for Darla to give it a shake. "You are very welcome, Miss Midnight," Darla says with a huge smile across her beak. "You can call me RM for short. That's what I ask of all my friends," she tells before flying off into the beautiful sunset. "See you around, RM." Looking dazed and confused, Mickey finally decides to awaken. "What happened, Darla? Where's RM? Did I miss anything?" "Not a thing, bro. Not a thing." Suddenly, Twyla and her parents return from their outing and park in front of their garage. "Mickey, they're back! We have to hurry and get inside the cage before they notice we're missing." In a panic, Darla grabs Mickey by the head and darts toward the open window in the front yard. With no time to waste, she rolls her brother like a bowling ball through the window and right into the back of the birdcage. The moment she zipped in and shut the cage door, Twyla and her parents walked into the living room to greet them. "Hey, yeah, pretty birdies. Did you miss us today?" Twyla joyfully asks. "Hello, birdies. Sorry about the wait. The past couple of weeks have been tiresome, and we know we haven't let you out as much as you would like to be. So we promised to let you guys play in the bird fountain bright and early tomorrow," her mother explains. "Yes, of course. And they can even stay outside an extra hour later," As long as the weather stays beautiful, adds her father. Yeah, you hear that, birdies? Tomorrow is your big day, and you get to have all the fun you want, tells Twyla. Oh, I think I've had enough fun for one weekend, perhaps for the rest of my life, which will be a very short one if I keep getting mixed up with you and your wacky adventures, Mickey says to Darla. Jeez, lighten up, bro. At least we made it back safely without getting our plumage plucked, and we did rescue at least one animal in need today. So our role as the neighborhood heroes is definitely worth keeping, right? Sure, whatever you say, sis. You were right, though, when you told me earlier that I would thank you for dragging me outside with you, but it's not because I got to spread my wings. If not for the freedom of soaring in the open air, then why? For giving me such beautiful dreams for the rest of my life. If it wasn't for you, I never would have met the incredible and wonderful blackbird by the name of Raven Midnight. Mickey sighs while daydreaming. Oh, you are such a dodo brain. The end. Bye-bye. I hope you enjoyed this book. Be good for your parents and don't forget to subscribe. Story time with Gitte.